Hello everybody, Matt with Vlair. In this video I'm going to give you a basic guide to the default configuration for a DayZ server. I'm going to go over the different options that you have available to you and what they do. This should give you a good understanding of what to change and what it does. This video assumes that you have the most recent update installed along with a map and the Vlair DayZ Server Manager tool. If you don't have those installed, go ahead and do it and then continue on with this video. The first thing you'll want to do is log into your control panel, click Configuration Files, and it brings up this section here. This will look different depending on what you currently have installed for mods. As an example, if you have BattlEye Extended Controls installed, it'll show you the configuration for that particular tool. This is just the basic configuration files. It's for the map itself, this section, and for the DayZ Server Manager tool, this section. So we're going to start off with this configuration file right here. It's called Server Configuration File. Pretty self-explanatory. Click Configuration Editor, and you can see the different options. The first one is the host name. This is what will show up in a server browser like DayZ Commander. You can make this anything you want. There's not a set limit on how long it can be, but be mindful that if you make it too long, it'll loop around and look strange in something like DayZ Commander. Another note is if your server is branded, if you selected that option when you initially signed up, you always need to have Vlair.com on the end of it, just like that. If you selected the option to have a non-branded server, don't worry about that. The next option is your in-game admin password. There's not much you can do with that. Most of the in-game admin functionality has been disabled by DayZ for a long time. Next setting is the difficulty. You can select whatever you want. In-game voice. This is for things like side chat, vehicle chat, and direct chat. Then you have enforced beta version. You can make that whatever version you want. I normally recommend keeping it within the last few that have been released. It's all up to personal preference. That will require people to have whatever version you set or newer to join the server. Some people like to always have it the newest one available in DayZ Commander. Some people like to run it a little loose. The next couple are self-explanatory, third person and crosshair. Then we have your message of the day. These lines here will show when somebody first joins the server. They show up on the left-hand corner of the screen, the bottom left-hand corner. You can make them whatever you want. Some people like to just say welcome to the server. Some people like to give a TeamSpeak IP, give some rules for the server. It's whatever you want to put there. The last option is for the map version. There's no selection there. That'll always be whatever the most recent version of the map that we've added is. Next, we'll move on to the default BattlEye config. This is where you set your RCOM password and max ping. Pretty easy, not much to it. RCOM password, max ping. Click Save. Then we go down here to the ARMA 2 OA Advanced Server Settings. These are where you can tweak specific variables for each difficulty. As you can see here, they're sectioned out by the difficulty. This is for recruit, then we have regular, then we have veteran. There's quite a few different options here you can tweak. It's entirely up to you what you put there. There's several sites that explain what each one does. I won't go through what they do. If I can find a link, I'll put it down in the description so you can check there. As an example, one thing I like to do, I always run my server on veteran with side chat. I like to know who's talking in side chat. So to do that, I go to the veteran section, and then right here where it says VON ID, you want to make sure it's 1. 0 means disabled, 1 means enabled. Once you make your changes, click Save. Now we'll go down to the configuration for the DayZ Server Manager tool. This gives you control over your starting loadout, along with vehicle options and your server time zone. We'll go with the vehicle options first. Create vehicle.bat, open that up. This lets you pick how many vehicles will spawn on the server. You can put pretty much whatever number you want here. I think it'll max out at 500 in this text box. Keep in mind, if you put 500, it does not mean you'll get 500 vehicles. It just means the server will spawn the maximum amount available for whatever map you're on. Each map has a different max limit. Chernarus, as an example, will max out around 85, and Tavionic can have about 150. So you can put whatever you want there. Click Save. And the next vehicle option is this objectcontrol.sys file. Click Configuration Editor. And when this loads up, there's 3 options here. The first one is automatically remove any vehicles that are certain type of damage. I generally recommend leaving it on destroyed vehicles only. If you put it on the other two, the system will potentially clean up some vehicles you didn't want it to. Then we go down here, you have your vehicle spawn options. This is how new vehicles will be spawned into the map. The first one lets you select how much damage they have. No damage, some damage, heavy damage. That's up to you how you'll set it. The next one is how much fuel they'll spawn with. Spawn with no fuel, 10 to 30, 30 to 80, full fuel. That's up to you. Some people like to mix it up. Some people like to have them all come in with no fuel and heavy damage. Some people like to have them fully fixed with full fuel. Entirely up to you. Once you set it, click Save. Next we'll look at the default loadout option. That's the custom loadout.sys. Click Configuration Editor. When that loads up, you have a couple choices. This is still a fairly new tool. We just released it, and as a result, we could be adding options to it in the future, so what I tell you here may not pertain in the future. The first option is the main loadout. You can pick different classes. If you want to know what's in each one, just hover over each one right here. A little pop-up will come up and tell you what's in it. Then you can pick the type of backpack people spawn with. So whatever option you pick's up to you. They vary. Just a basic survival loadout gives you some basic stuff to get you going, all the way to a sniper loadout that comes with a sniper rifle and some other gear. Once you pick that, click Save. And the last option we'll look at is the Server Time Manager. This lets you select the time zone for the server. We'll open that up. You have two options here. Both options are contained in this one drop-down. The first option is selecting a UTC offset. You basically just need to figure out what the current UTC time is and then select the offset accordingly. A little bit of math involved there, but there is some benefits to it. If you use the UTC offset in DayZ Commander, it'll show the current server time, as you can see right there. The one drawback to it is you'll have to set it every time you restart the server. Let's say you want to maintain 24 hours of daylight, you need to keep coming in and manually adjusting the offset to make sure it's still within daytime. The second option is the Start Server At option. These ones mean the server will start at this time every time it's restarted. So you could say Start Server at 9 a.m. Every time you restart it, you don't need to come back here and adjust it, it'll just make it 9 a.m. The drawback to this option is it will not show the time in DayZ Commander. As you can see here, two of my servers, one has one setting, one has the other. This one has the Start Server At option. Does not show the time in DayZ Commander. This one has the UTC offset, shows the current time in DayZ Commander along with the UTC offset. So that's entirely up to you which one you want to use. Some people like to use it one way, some people like to use it the other. All personal preference. Click Save. One more thing to note, some of these configuration files can be saved with the server running, some cannot. It's usually just a good rule of thumb to stop the server before changing the stuff anyway. Even the files that let you save it while it's running, they won't take effect until the next restart, so usually it's good just to stop the server. I hope this helps explain some of the configuration options that you have available to you. Again, my name is Matt with Valair. I appreciate you watching. If you ever need any help or have any questions, you're welcome to join our TeamSpeak server, ts3.valair.com, or go ahead and submit a support ticket. I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you very much.